Can a tennis shoe ever be too durable? Let's find out. Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse shoe review of the K-Swiss Hypercourt Express 3. Loved by club enthusiasts of all levels and recreational players craving comfort, the Hypercourt Express 3s are a fantastic blend of longevity and lateral stability. For the third version of these shoes, K-Swiss completely revamps the DuraWrap upper for a more streamlined construction while still retaining the lateral stability the line is known for. Within the midsole is a plush layer of K-Swiss's Surgelite Plus foam that is both soft to the touch and keeping its comfort over time. The Aosta 7 rubber compound makes the outsole one of the more durable options we've seen this year. These shoes also feature a roomier fit on the hole and are a little wider, particularly in the toe box, for a more accommodating experience.
It has been quite some time since K-Swiss has updated the Hypercourt Express from the 2 to 3. They took their time, they really came out with a great plan overall. This is a good fit, a good play test for me. Let's start out with that fit. True to length in terms of a size 11, I had no problems with that. I would say this is a slightly wider fit. I will also say it felt a little wider through the bridge of my foot, and that's really where I typically need a little wider instead of the toe box. So I really felt like it pinched nicely, supported my heel and the rear of the shoe, and kind of flared out from there. Great fit. I would also say if you have a wider fit or not, you're gonna get a really good adaptive fit from the lacing system. I kind of have a middle of the road in terms of width foot, and I was able to get a great fit out of these slightly wider shoes. Now, traction was top notch on any hard court that I played with. I know they say this is like a kind of a modified herringbone. I didn't get a chance to try this on a soft court, but I also will make comment on that midfoot shank. This shoe is extremely stable, prevent my foot from kind of torquing and twisting throughout the motions on the court. And again, back to that heel cup, I really like how secure it was. So between the upper, holding my feet in place comfortably, supporting me, I'm somewhat low to the ground. I would say there's a substantial amount of midfoot cushioning there. I like a firm feel, and that's exactly what I got out of this shoe. So overall, the K-Swiss Hypercourt Express 3, the updates made to it was just a great one for me.
Well, first of all, I want to say I am loving the new updated cosmetic. I feel like this upper now feels very clean and very modern looking, so really like that there. As for the fit, it felt like a Hypercourt Express shoe when I put it on. Like Mark mentioned, the fit is a bit more roomy, especially in the forefoot area, which was great for me. And then when I slipped my feet into it, I definitely noticed that plush underfoot cushioning, not only in the heel area, but also in the forefoot area. Really nice and comfortable there. And then once I got it on court, the performance of these shoes was very, very solid. I thought the stability when I was moving side to side was rock solid. And then as for support, I was able to get a nice locked in fit and feel, so my feet weren't really sliding around. I think if you do have a more narrow foot, you might have a bit more trouble kind of getting that locked in fit, but not an issue for me. As for traction, nice blend of grip and give, so I was able to kind of slide out of my shots when I needed to. And I thought the durability of these shoes were great as well. So overall, I think the update is minor, but an improvement in almost every area, and I really enjoyed this play test.
I want to start off by saying that there are a lot of things about the shoe that I really did like, particularly the cushioning of the shoe, the step-in comfort. The heel cushioning is just amazing. I would rank this up there with my CT Rally, the Rush Tour even. It just allows your foot to really sink in. It's not like some of the other shoes that I've been testing out lately that have a little bit of an incline, like the Rush Tour or even the Barricades. So your foot just sits there very comfortably. Having said that, this shoe does run really big for me. I've never had to go down a size, but the Express 3s, I probably would. My foot was moving a lot, especially at the forefoot. It's already a little bit wider, and then going on with the size 14s, there was a lot of room in the front, there was a lot of room on the sides, and my foot was just moving around a whole lot. There was a little bit of heel slippage, and I did use the extra eyelets to try to combat that, but there was still, even after using, there was still a little bit of heel slippage, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. When running around, taking off for the shoe is pretty easy. It doesn't feel like it's weighing me down or anything. It does weigh a little bit more, but you don't really feel it when you're playing in it. Stopping is where I had the biggest issue with. My toes were really jamming, really hurt. So overall, the Hypercourt Express 3 still have that K-Swiss comfort, but if you're gonna go for the Express 3s, my recommendation is maybe try a size smaller and see if that works out for you.
Like the other playtesters mentioned, these shoes definitely have a little bit more of an accommodating fit, particularly in the toe boxes where I noticed this. It actually felt like my feet were moving around a little bit, so I typically would go for either double socking these, or I'd maybe even go down a half size, or getting these for myself. But thankfully, these shoes are extremely stable, didn't really have any issues in terms of lateral functionality. I would actually say they bordered on a little bit too stable for me at times. I like a little bit more nimbleness, particularly off the forefoot. But that's okay, I don't think that this shoe is trying to be super fast or speed oriented. I did feel like I could trust this shoe into and out of the pocket on more aggressive movements and slides. I'm a pretty aggressive mover in general, so for me, whether or not I can trust a shoe in those more dire circumstances is gonna be a big indicator of whether or not it's gonna work in the long run. And speaking of the long run, these shoes are nearly indestructible. I've put in well over 30 hours at the 2-month mark here, and they're just holding up extremely well, particularly in high wear areas outside the toe box for me. They're just continuing to be really durable, really good longevity on the whole. I will say that for me personally, I like something that, again, is just a little bit more agile, but the fit is gonna be, great for those players who are looking for something more accommodating, and the comfort is huge, honestly. So overall, I think that this is a really stable and plush option, but maybe not just personally for my style of movement. That wraps up this playtest of the K-Swiss Hypercourt Express 3s. For more information on anything else tennis related, check us out at Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, and Tennis Only.